we were just assessing the situation here. This vehicle is stuck, and he's in danger of sliding off the road at the same time. And we need to be able to pull him out of his stuck situation and prevent him from sliding off. I'm a little worried right now if we hook onto the front, as we pull him, he may slide and just pendulum right on down here and maybe pull the other vehicle down with him. So we're doing a little assessment, a little stuck assessment, trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. You heard what the explanation, that this vehicle needs to be pulled in two directions at the same time.
Right.
We need to pull it away from the edge as well as pulling it forward to get it out of its stuck situation. But we only have this one winch to work with. Now we have a lot of other gear. We've got straps and clevises, and in fact we have an extension rope as well, a winch extension. So help me figure out how we're going to set this up. We want to pull the back that way, and we want to pull the front this way.
Well, we need anchor points.
Yeah, well, this one right here.
We've got a nice little tree behind us that we can use as one anchor point.
Yeah. So if we put a tree strap up there and a clevis or something, run our line up there.
Run up that way.
And we need something to pull anchor off.
We need something to anchor off that side.
Yep.
There's really nothing that suffices in reasonable proximity of the vehicle that will be a good anchor point.
Yeah, I mean, like these little branches
They'll
here.
just break off with the pressure or pull them out of the ground.
Right. I think the only real anchor we have is that tree all the way up there, that juniper. You see it up there?
Whoa, way up there?
Yeah, way up there. So, what I'm thinking is, let's put a strap around that, and we'll drop the extension rope down here.
Okay.
All right. And then we'll put a pulley block on the end of that, and we can run a pulley block there, so we'll get pulling forward, we'll get an angle change, and pull sideways at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You want to wrestle who goes up there?
John, so what's going to help us out in this situation is this extension rope.
Okay.
This is 50 feet of synthetic rope, and it actually has a rating of 19,500 pounds.
Wow.
So it's almost twice as strong as the cable, the wire rope. And feel how light it is. So when you're climbing up there, it'll be nothing to pull that up there with you. Okay. But the only downside probably is a little expensive.
Yeah.
But this is a very practical and very doable kind of thing.
Well, that's
to carry
a lot
with you.
further than 50 feet.
We'll use a long tree strap too.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's do the rigging then. All right, so we've got our basic rigging set up here, and we put some tension on it. So now we need to take a look at each of these. Right now we just have light tension on this, and unfortunately we're going to have to get in essentially this box, which is a spider's web, to check it out. Once we start operation, we don't want anybody anywhere near this thing. Okay, so let's just take a look at it. First of all, we're going to have a bit of an angle pull here. So we can't pull too far without it building up on that.
Okay.
At this point, this looks pretty good. The
tree's pretty solid.
The tree's solid and the pulley looks pretty flat. It may
Well, it's got to go uphill, so it's going to go in the angle of the hillside. So that looks pretty good, right?
Yep. So our pulley up there looks good. Tree strap all the way up top looks good. Everything's looking pretty good there. Let's just check this part down here. We put this additional tree strap in here to protect the vehicle. If we'd run the cable back here, at some point we'd probably have wire right on it.
Right, and damage.
What I don't like though is the way this is coming down under here. And I think we have a high probability of cutting this strap or something if we get a lot of tension on it. So I think we need to take the tension off and flip this over and get it up on top here a little bit. And I think this pin, I don't think it's in far enough.
Yeah, it's only, it's still, there's still dirt down there.
So why don't you go ahead and back off. little bit. A little more. Just a little more out. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now let's get this up.
Right across that.
Yeah, I think
that hinge play would probably be best right there.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
It'll protect the quarter panel or the rear panel
as best we can. And there's risk here in this strap getting cut, but I think it's the best we can do in this circumstance. So why don't you come on out of here, out of this danger zone, steer the vehicle.
Okay.
And we want to get everybody out of the way here. One thing is, you have to work with the anchors that you have, and sometimes the ideal angles that you might want to pull straight ahead and pull sideways aren't available. Okay, John, go ahead and start winching. And turn downhill.
Turn downhill.
That's good.
Okay.
Now wind it in. Keep going. Straighten your wheels out. John, straighten your wheels out. There, okay, now keep switching. What did you think of that, John?
Well, I'll tell you, it was really scary because you don't have any control over what you're seeing. You don't see how it's building up on the winch. You don't see what's hooked up on the rear end. All you do is you feel the whole vehicle is literally pulling sideways.
Right.
And it was a very spooky feeling.
This is where it'd be good to have somebody on the outside watching the winch, or maybe even controlling it from out there.
I didn't know how far to go with, I wanted to stop and go, oh, I'm going to break something, it just...
Take a look at the tires. You can see how it slid them sideways and pulled it forward a little bit.
Right. It just pulled you right back onto the road.
Right. One of the risks here is you see the dirt that's piled up behind that wheel? If we were aired way down and there was a lot of resistance, we could have broken a bead.
Right,
sliding it sideways. And that all has to do with the angles. And I think you missed it when I was saying that sometimes you have to work with the anchors you have, and you don't always get the right angle.
Exactly.
It would have been nice to have more of a pull.
Yeah, a straighter
over there somewhere.
Yeah, we only had 2 or 3 trees to anchor point for an anchor point, so it's just an impossibility. But that rigging worked really well to pull it sideways.